Over here, this side. This side.
Sounds great. All right, we'll be joined by Anthony momentarily, but we'll get underway with Kurt, who's got the first question. Welcome to the Suzuki family.
Yeah.
What are their names, Kurt?
This is Kainoa and Elijah.
Nice. Great to have them up there with you. And now we welcome Houston native Anthony Rendon. Anthony, thanks for coming in as well. We'll start with Steve to your right, guys.
Congratulations, both of you. Can you just talk about the mood right now? I know you're not going to declare victory. You still have to win 4 games, but winning 2 in Houston has to be very important in your mind. Tell us how you're feeling right now, the confidence level.
Go ahead, Anthony. You're a very emotional guy.
It's just way down in here. It just doesn't come out a lot. Yeah, like you said, we know the series isn't over. I think it would have been a success if we only came in and stole 1 game, obviously. Playing at this stage and playing with the crowd and just being out there home field. But for us to obviously steal 2 games from them at their home field is great. But like you said, we still have a job to finish, and we have 2 more to go.
Yeah, like Ant said, it's nice to come in here and get a couple wins, face a couple great pitchers, able to come out on top. And really, we're just looking forward to get back home in front of our fans and worrying about winning the next pitch, winning the next, inning. So, we're getting ready.
Other questions? Right here, David.
Kurt, 2 questions. The swing you put on Verlander in the 7th, and also how you have observed Steven's ability to finish his outings this year strongly and get through them as he did tonight.
Yeah, Strauss, obviously the little hiccup there in the first, made a good pitch. You tip your hat, guy's a great hitter, and he hit it out. But the thing about Strauss is he's really grown, I think, in that way where he doesn't let things like that bother him. He just moves on to the next pitch, gets the next out, moves on, and gave us 5 shutout after that, gave us a chance to win the ball game, and it was great. And as for the hit, man, I can't remember the last time I barreled a ball up like that. It felt great. It felt like months ago. So probably was months ago. So it felt great. I think it was just the fact that just to help the team out any way I can, whatever it was, and we get some runs on the board, and we were able to put some runs up in the later part of the innings, and it was good.
Sam right up front.
Anthony, 2-parter. The first, what made you guys so successful with 2 outs hitting tonight? Obviously, you guys have done that all year, and then I know that's Davey's philosophy. When he comes in and kind of explains that he doesn't like strikeouts, what's your impression of that?
Oh, man, I think if we could pinpoint one certain thing, man, I think it just might just be our resilience. And like you said, Davey emphasized in spring training, he doesn't like strikeouts. And if we are striking out, then obviously we're not giving ourselves a chance to get on base. We're just kind of getting ourselves out, and obviously we're not making the defense work. So, we have, some speed at the top of the order, so if we could run balls out and put some pressure on the defense any way possible, or even Zim today. he was running some balls out, that old guy. So it was great to just, be able to put some balls in play and limit our strikeouts as much as we can and just try to scratch any kind of run that we can get.
Right up front to your left, guys.
Anthony, as being one of the the leaders in the clubhouse, what have you said, you and the others said, at the beginning of this postseason? Because a lot of people didn't predict you all to be where you all are right now, up 2-0 in the World Series. So, what has the mindset been since the beginning of the playoffs?
Oh, man, I would go back further than just the postseason for sure. When everyone started doubting us at the part of the middle of the year, everyone goes back to 19-31. But even when they were saying that, we need to fire Davey, or we need to trade so-and-so, or we need to kind of clean house, clean the front office out, or whatever it might be, I think then it was kind of when we kind of got our attitude and said, hey, well, screw everybody else. We don't worry about what's going on outside of our clubhouse, but we're going to worry about the 25 guys that are in here and that are actually grinding. No offense, but nobody outside of that clubhouse knows, the work that we put in each and every day, and the amount of time that we're away from our families and the sacrifices that we have to make. So, that's been our attitude for a while now.
Way back on the right, David.
Kurt, 2 questions. The 3-2 pitched to Correa in the 6th that he popped up looked like a changeup up in the zone. Could you describe that pitch? And second, your thoughts on being the first player born in Hawaii to hit a home run in the World Series?
Yeah, it's a big pitch, for Strauss. He, just any pitch, any time. He's got so many weapons to get you out with. He's got command. He can really spin the ball. You know, you never really know what pitch is coming because he can throw any pitch at any time. You know, if he changes up his patterns, we do a good job of sequencing right, then it becomes tough for the hitter. So I think in that situation right there, runners in a scoring position, a great hitter like Correa, you know, you try not to give in, and you know, we try to change up our patterns. We had him a couple times 3-2, and I think we went in different ways each time. So you try to mix it up, got him to pop it up. It was great, and then obviously the homer was great. You know, I think just anytime you can help the team out any way you can, offensively, defensively, doesn't matter. You know, do one thing to help the team win, and you know, good things will happen.
Do a few more in the way back left.
Anthony, I just want to go back to when May 24th, when you said everyone was, you know, pretty much burying you guys. Yeah, at that point, you had a 0.01% chance of winning the pennant, and here you are, 2-0 in the World Series. When you see those types of headlines, and it sounds like you did see them, what's your mentality, and now, given all of that, what's your philosophy on quote-unquote odds?
Yeah, I think we've kind of defied the odds at this point, and we don't pay too much attention to them. Obviously, we read about it or we hear about it because it becomes, we have all the news outlets saying, you know, all these things. But, I mean, we just try to stay together as a team, and that's all we really could do. I mean, we had nothing to lose at that point. I mean, we had 0.01 chance to lose, I guess. We had that much left. But, I mean, we were just, hey, we could say, screw it. Let's just go out there and just have some fun and play ball. And whatever it was, you know, something clicked and it turned around. And we've been trying to ride that wave ever since and just keep on just going.
Do two more in the center.
Kurt, how surprised were you to see Altuve try to steal in the first? And Anthony, how big was Kurt's home run in the seventh to get things going?
You know, I don't really get surprised when you guys try to run on me. 36 years old, you know, I'm getting old now, but I know they like to run. They like to steal third. You know, they like to put the pressure on the defense, and I think we had a little bit of a shift going on right there, so Ant's kind of playing the hole a little bit. And, you know, it's kind of like a football pass. You know, you got to try to lead him to the bag. You can't rush it because you got to give him time, and you can't throw it too low because then he'll be running trying to catch at a shoe top. So you just try to play catch with him, and lucky enough, you know, he made a great tag, and we got him out, which obviously saved us a run because Bregman hit that homer after.
And to your right, guys. Go ahead, Anthony. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, his homer was awesome. I mean, obviously it got that inning started, and I'm not gonna lie, that a couple of bats before, was it you had a slider you had just missed?
Yeah.
I was like, I have a feeling he might hit a homer right here, and he misses it just a little bit. So maybe I was a couple of bats behind. I was trying to steal a homer from him earlier in the game. But he's been doing that all year for us. You know, he's been coming up clutch and having big hits like that. And it's funny, we always talk about how, you know, he came into the season, you know, going to be platooning and not playing too often. And like you said, he's 36 years old, and he's had a lot more ABs than anticipated, and it's good. He's been continuing to help us, you know, win ball games.
And to your right, guys.
Kurt, you've talked about the grind of a long season. You know, like you said, you're a young guy here. You're a young catcher here. But how's it feeling now, being this close to, you know, a couple games from maybe winning a World Series, and just is it all worthwhile if you get to this point and feel the way you do physically and just to push through it?
Yeah, it feels great. I think, you know, I've waited 13 seasons for this, you know, for this moment to be able to play in the World Series. And I kind of joked around with a lot of guys. Anthony, you know, in the training room the other day, I was like, man, I got energy now. This is the last series of the season right here, no matter what, you know. And you know, we're playing for it now. I mean, if you can't get up for these games, you know, I think you're in the wrong sport. You should retire or something, because this is it. I mean, you obviously see all the media and the coverage that you get for the World Series, and it kind of pumps you up. And, you know, especially waiting how long I did to get to play in a World Series game, to advance past the first round of the postseason, it's awesome. And, you know, we're just looking forward to the next game. You know, obviously we know what's at stake. We're not looking too far in the future. We know keep our eye on the target, come out, just be 1-0 the next day, and go from there.
I'll finish up in the first row.
Anthony, does it get easier for you now going back to D.C. now that you know, leaving your hometown, ticket requests and things like that, press requests, media requests? Is it a lot more pressure off of you now going home?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's pressure, but it's definitely been overwhelming, to say the least. I don't show too much emotion, but it has been a lot to handle, and I don't know if I could be able to play here, 162 games in a year, but
Playing for free.
yeah, yeah. But I think I always try to twist it to look at the positive side of it. If my family and I didn't have that many people hitting us up, then maybe our support level isn't that high. So the fact that people are showing us so much love as a family, being here, and that means we have a great support group here, and it's something to be thankful for.
Well, congrats to the Suzuki clan and to Anthony, and have a safe trip back to DC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that concludes tonight's post-game interviews. Tomorrow's schedule in Washington.